Good morning. It's almost 9 a.m. We're leaving in just over an hour to go to this huge market. Um, I passed out when I got in bed last night. Great sleep yesterday. Although it wasn't like a big vlog day, because it was a long day. We did a lot, but like, not a lot to vlog, if you know what I mean. But we'll see what happens today. All right, we're on the van. We're on our way to a museum right now, and then from the museum we're going to Pisac, and then from Pisac we're going to the market that I talked about earlier. So let's do it. All right, we've made our way to the museum. It's about 5,000 years worth of Peruvian history. It's kind of cool, the layout they've got. You start in this room right here, and I think you go around and around, and you end up right over here. So let's do it.
Alright, so here we have a depiction of what the first civilization that lived in Peru would have looked like. You can see there they have like a natural kindling made of like alpaca wool and other sorts of, fibers and whatnot.
It looks like
Here
this
it's like
whale spine.
on the whale spine. Yeah, the first people that inhabited Peru lived on like the coast,
Right.
and so they were very
Dependent on water.
yeah, they were very dependent on water and on fish. So a lot of the depictions in their culture, instead of in the Inca culture, a lot of depictions of animals are pumas or condors, but here it's fish and monkeys and seagulls.
Yeah,
Nice.
and no rock. Do you see that? This is
Yeah.
because these are from the coast. These guys are by the ocean.
So here on this map, I believe the orange is where people are kind of inhabiting, where people have been, and so we see cultures go northwards, and so this culture becomes like a stone. They are very heavily invested in like stone cutting, and there's like some of their like religious and ceremonial sites. There's like puma heads carved out of stone, which is very cool.
And this was about, right now we're at 3,000 years ago. Right now we're in Cusco, or in this area.
Yeah.
So it just shows how they started, this is what them 3,000 years ago, and how much bigger it's gotten since then.
All right, so something I forgot to mention is that this is about a 6-hour drive, and that's another hour from here to here, and so all of these are some of the highest glaciers in the world, or in the country, I mean. And then here are some of the highest mountains in the country as well, and so that's why they have a lot of like stonework. This is the Chauvin culture, by the way, and they're also the ones that made the Nazca lines. And so here you can see some of their artworks, and so they're very like artsy. It's not just like a general shape. I mean, it's like a hybrid animal thing. It's like they were very, very artsy. They had like a creative eye for those kinds of things, and I think that helped them make the Nazca lines and like how we kind of see them today. Because I mean, these are like totally like unique. They're art pieces,
Right.
All right, so it's a little dark, but this is the Chauvin interpretation of the god. This is their ceremonial room. It's about 4.5 meters tall. I mean, this is it. This is like this is like their ceremonial piece, almost. So. Okay, so this is the Mochica culture. They developed a couple hours north of Lima. They needed water, of course, so this is another near the coast
Society,
culture.
culture.
Yeah. And they developed a lot of arts. They had, of course, their own gods and everything. And they rarely went to war. When they did go to war, they either needed to for some reason, or they needed to capture more prisoners to sacrifice to the gods.
So they only went to war if they needed to survive, or if they needed more prisoners to sacrifice to the gods.
So the Nazca people, who are further south of Lima, they ventured into the desert looking for water, and so one of the very interesting things that they did in order to find this is they figured out that there was water underneath the sand, the rock, and so they made wells to access this water, which is really, really interesting.
Yeah. All right, we made our way to Pisca, and we're at lunch. We're getting ready to order, and we got a friend.
They used to do that. She's like trying to put her chitronid. Oh my god, that's crazy.
All right, we're done with lunch, and we've made our way to the market.
Stall after stall.
It's stall after stall. It's huge. So much stuff. Let's see what we can get. All right, we made it to Pisac, which is
It's an old Incan fortress that they built all the way up here in the mountains. We're super high up. We walked like 40 feet and we're already out of breath because of the oxygen. It is very beneficial for it to be up here on the mountains because you can look down and see if there are any enemies who are coming up at you. So it kind of has the high ground advantage. There's a bunch of terraces and like fortress buildings all the way further past that, but you can already see it looks like a fortress design.
Yep. And quick update, I got nothing from the market. I bought these jerseys yesterday. I'm not trying to spend any more money. I need money for college. Why are you running, Emma? What's going on?
What did Emma say?
Yep, that's me.
Here.
Emma stole my jacket because she loves it so much. So we're getting to the fortress part. We got like alpacas, all this stone, terrace stuff, more alpacas. Pretty sick. All right.
All right, we're on our way up to the fortress, and on the side of the mountain, you can see all of these caves, and they're full of bats. All of them are all full of bats.
Scary.
And it's just crazy that they all developed. Like Minecraft generation.
Issa,
What's up?
what happened 5 seconds ago?
Andrew thinks that I fell off a cliff 2 years ago, but I literally didn't.
No, you almost fell off the cliff.
I didn't say that you fell off the cliff.
He said that I almost.
Take a look at this view we got right here. Wow. In the mountains, the valley. All right. We made it to the top. It's a lot of walking. We're really up there in altitude, but we made it.
3,514 meters.
Wow. Let's take a look at the view. It's beautiful. Wow.
That's 10,500 feet.
That's insane. I mean, everywhere you go, it's just incredible. All right, we're on our way down, and Andrew wanted to hit some spots that aren't in the normal pathway to try and like the interesting spots. So here we go.
Yeah, so most of these buildings that we see here would have been either barracks or food storage or grain storage. And if you're wondering why they would have like open areas for food, like open windows for food storage, it would be because the air is so dry up here that a lot of the vegetables and the grains that they had would be air dried just by sitting up here with the open windows and stuff. But as for the rest of the buildings, they'd be barracks and like weapon storage and other important rooms like that. And they would all have that like thatch roofing and everything.
Yeah.
Of course, that's long been gone, but we do see some recreations of what it would have looked like on a lot of the buildings, which is really interesting.
Yeah. All right, Andrew and I are still at the fortress. We're still exploring. Meanwhile, my parents, Matthew and Emma, sorry, they are right here, far away. So we're gonna have to go catch up to them. All right,
I've already broken.
we're
this
at dinner
one
right
up, so I
now.
didn't really
It's
do that.
just before 7 o'clock. We're at an Asian restaurant. I'll show you guys the food in a bit. All right, it's 8:02. We're walking.
black.
It's pitch black out. We're walking back from dinner from the Asian restaurant. It's about 11:25. Just chilled for a bit, played some Jackbox with the fam, and was just on call with my friend Jack. Shout out Jack again. So heading to bed now. Waking up a little bit earlier than we normally do. I think we're waking up at like 7:30 maybe. Leaving to go to a lake. We're taking another train, so excited for that. It's been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun.